Hey, Kliq This fans, want to get closer to the show than ever? Join Kliq This TV. Kliq This TV offers early commercial-free access to wrestling's hottest podcast, plus live audience tapings of their show every friggin' week. Head to KliqThisTV.com now and get inside the show that's just too sweet.
The following podcast contains mature language and adult discussion.
I watched that opening, and I mean, Wes isn't here tonight; he's away. But was there ever a time I had not a stitch of brown in my hair at all? I mean, I feel like even the Oz doll that I was looking at today had the.
Oh, you've been gray since we sat here in the condo and talked about it.
Spiraling to the grave. Hey, Kev, that Oz doll, I need it. You know, I keep my gimmicks here. I think a little Oz doll I should, but you tell me it's sold out, right?
I think he wants to make the big one, like make a big one.
We all would like a big one, but so what, like those old rubber ones,
7-inch, yeah.
I'll put that up here. I marvel when I look at guys like you and Vader and who was the guy that had the buffalo head?
What was it? Minotaur.
Yeah, Minotaur. Because you guys had to travel with that shit. Any wrestling fan who looks at the worker who went to the ring in tights, trunks, knee pads, and tape, and thought that in some way that was wrong or didn't look as cool, that's the smartest worker in the room, because he could get his shit into a small suitcase, I would imagine.
Because God, I mean, there's not enough. There's not 13 matches of guys that look just like that.
Right. Well, Rock was tights and knee pads and boots.
Yeah,
Steve had the vest, but whatever.
And knee braces, but I mean, you have to realize that they both had. Steve was in like the personas were Versace shirts, camouflage. It's just what you go to the ring in.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That extra shit you got all. And God forbid you win a title.
If you're doing TVs and everything else, I mean, you've got your look that you gotta.
Did you have to? I know there was no like policy on this or anything, but you know how like the NBA for a long time required formal dress for the travel. Like you'd see the guys getting off the bus and they were in suits, you know, and
they did that for like a year in WWE.
I know they did a no jeans rule, but
no, they did like a fucking sport coat type thing.
Oh God. On top of holding your Oz head.
I know that Taker fucking got exempt. And I think Steve was exempt because it didn't fit their gimmicks.
Good point. Right, you're gonna have Taker.
So as soon as you get that fucking crack in the dike,
the rest of the boys go crazy, right?
Fuck that, yeah. I would have never done it. That's why one of the reasons I wanted to get into pro wrestling is not have to wear a fucking coat.
All right. Yoko too? Yeah, Yoko. What are they?
No, it was way after Yoko.
Okay. Yeah, so, and we were talking a little bit before about like the Vader mask, if anyone remembers back then, where he would wear the thing that would shoot the smoke out of it. And Kev was saying they would like when he was in Japan and stuff, they'd just throw that under the bus and everything. But still, you're responsible for getting that thing in the building. And
he had a Japanese dude that worked for him.
Even here?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that when that, because that was short lived. that didn't make a lot of, because something happened, it didn't work as effectively, and then they were shooting it off, and it wasn't even on him, and which made a lot of fucking sense.
He would stand it on the ramp, and everyone would just look at it and shoot mist, smoke, fog. I'm trying to think of
I
something.
always thought he would have had a macaw on his shoulder, and they would have taught it to say, "Who's the man?" I thought that would have been money.
That would have been money.
Modern day Coco Beware.
You bring up a good point. When he would have to travel with the bird.
Fuck that with the bulldogs.
The dog, yeah, Matilda the dog.
Snake.
Now the snake, I heard,
had a handler.
But it was the same snake, because I heard city to city they would find a vendor to get a snake to the building, and that they didn't have to bring it. I'm not sure if it's true. I'll ask.
I'll
Jake
never
when I
forget,
see
man. I've probably told this story 1,000 times, but we were in the Baltimore Arena, and we got there early, and all the showers were on, and this one, like kind of the main locker room where the fuck were those guys called that just stole money? The commission. The commission died.
Oh, the athletic commission. Yes.
Yeah, because they
took your blood pressure
and
and
you could,
a check.
yeah, and you couldn't get color in any of those towns. And my last match with Paul was a ladder match in Baltimore. I'm like, great, and we can't get color.
Was that legit that you couldn't get color? When
Yeah,
the
you couldn't
commission
get
was
color.
there?
Oh fuck, man!
Oh wow!
It stopped the match.
Even if it was hard way.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So the showers.
So the showers are on, and I go walk, and fucking Jake has this albino fucking like 11-foot cobra in the shower with the fucking, he's just hanging out. That fucking thing's fucking peered up and blew its fucking neck out, and I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So I told Rude to go look, and Rude went and looked, and fucking Rude was like, what the fuck is, like, man, fuck this shit. So we went, if you've ever been to the Baltimore Arena, especially one of the boys, we went to there's this row of, behind the stage, there's a row of smaller dressing rooms, and then we went and hung out down there. But,
because Baltimore actually has a proper stage.
Yeah, it's
with
got a
proscenium. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
you can
right.
see like the old Baltimore Bullets when Elvin Hayes played there. You can see him like shooting jump shots, at the basket. You can see the stage, on the baseline.
Because you're a hoop geek, did you ever like mark out a little bit when you got to work venues that you knew had significance from?
I mean, it's like
championship
the first time I worked the Astrodome, I remember watching the Elvin Hayes, at that point, Lou Alcindor game, Houston versus UCLA, and UCLA hadn't been beaten. I forget how many games, but that Houston beat them, and Jabbar had gotten his retina scratched like the week against maybe Oregon or something like that the week before, so he couldn't see worth a shit.
Is that when he started wearing the goggles?
Nah, I don't think he did then. I think because he didn't wear the goggles until he was with the Lakers.
Oh.
He didn't play the seasons he played with Milwaukee. He did.
How many years was he with Milwaukee?
I want to think maybe 3.
Okay. Yeah.
They
In these
won it.
venues. Uh-huh.
They won it. Didn't they win it? Was in 72?
I was 2. Oh, wait, no, 72? I was born in
Yeah.
72, so I'm not sure. To brush up on my NBA history, I'm not sure. I didn't even realize, actually, as we sit here and talk, and I kind of considered myself an NBA fan, I didn't realize that Milwaukee had a title with them.
I'm almost positive they won it in 72.
It's possible. But did these buildings, Kev, like you talked about Baltimore, if you're in Baltimore, you're in Houston, the buildings are different, but is there a palpable, noticeable difference in the crowds of certain cities? Like you always hear,
Oh God, yeah.
Philly's a heel town, or Long Island is whatever Long Island is. I'm sure it has an identity that's
Long Island was the worst place to ever be a babyface.
Worse than MSG?
Nassau Coliseum. Oh, God. Nassau Coliseum?
Really? Worse than Philly?
Yeah.
Wow.
Nassau was the worst. Philly might be second.
Well, Uniondale's a shithole out there, so everyone's, I guess, angry. It's where they live. Speaking of basketball, Kev, when's the last time? Can you ever remember having to, when you played?
71.
All right, good call.
They swept the Bullets.
Do you ever remember anyone in the NBA having to send out this tweet? Steve, if you have a visual of the tweet, I can just read it here. This is from Sophie Cunningham, WNBA star. Stop throwing dildos on the court. You're going to hurt one of us. I think this is exclusive to a WNBA situation. I came across this and I had to double take. So apparently, more than one time, this happened, that the dildos were being thrown. I remember we did a little coverage on here of NFL, dildos in the end zone. Don't remember the city. Might have been Buffalo. Feel like it was Buffalo. But apparently this was a WNBA situation.
Well, I guess hockey's already got the octopus, so they had to go somewhere.
They covered the smell, so they had to just get the dildos out there. And it warrants an arrest if anyone's thinking of doing this. This will get you arrested, as it did Caden Lopez, 18 years old, of Phoenix. I threw it out there during the Phoenix, Connecticut game. The toy did not hit the court, but hit a male fan who was at the game with his 9-year-old niece. I mean, can you fucking imagine this? Who has the mindset? I'm not going to bring a sign to taunt the other team. I'm not going to wear a jersey. I'm not going to call something out rude. I'm going to buy this, smuggle it in the building, and then try to hit somebody with it.
Or maybe just take it out of a harness.
If it was being worn, yeah, I guess that'd be the way to get it. The way to get it in, I suppose.
You know.
But I was a little shocked and disappointed that I hadn't thought of that.
But I saw like several pictures that had dildos that had been thrown on the court. Like it was an Instagram thing, and there was like maybe 4 different incidents where somebody had threw a dildo.
And this is WNBA or NBA?
WNBA.
Okay, yeah. It's a thing, I guess. I don't know how that started. It's got to be a social media copycat type thing. I can't imagine 4 people independently having this idea without having seen somebody else did this. Like, hey, you know what? Listen, before we go to the game tonight, Stella, go in that drawer for me. Give me that big thing with the purple veins. God bless them. What the ladies have to deal with. This would be a fine time to remind everyone that BLUECHEW is our most steadfast and oldest sponsor here. So let's say that they sponsored that last story about dildos on the court.
They wouldn't have to, because you don't need a dildo when you take BLUECHEW.
You're right. If there's BLUECHEW in the home, you can throw all that shit out.
Yeah, that's nobody's going to need. Nobody needs any kind of relief.
In the first 9 minutes,
maybe the woman might, but
the first 9 minutes of this show, have we differentiated ourselves at least from the other shows on the network? Have we done our job to be Kliq this right away, off the bat, out of the chute? Speaking of out of the chute, if you want to put it in the chute, guys, BLUECHEW, it's not just a tablet. It's a cheat code for your crotch. It's the original brand offering chewable tablets for better sex. Here's how this works, and this is the beauty of BLUECHEW. Oh, I got a flashlight, and did you get a flashlight, Kevin? They sent a little gimmick flashlight. I think I gave it to my daughter to bring back home to college. You push the flashlight, and the image is in the shape of a cock and balls. But you go online, BLUECHEW.com. You consult with a licensed medical provider, answer some questions, and the prescription is in your mailbox within days. Not even the prescription is provided, and the product is in your mailbox in days. You could take it anytime, day or night, just to be ready to go. It doesn't spring you right there. It just facilitates some rocket fuel down south when you need it. So, guys, it's not just about performance. This is your reputation in the bedroom we're talking about here. So give her and her friends something to talk about, for Christ's sake. Discover your options at BlueChew.com. And, of course, we have a special deal for our listeners, viewers. As always, get your first month of Blue Chew free. Just use the promo code NASH, N-A-S-H, at checkout and pay $5 for shipping. That's it. Join Blue Chew's mission to upgrade humanity one thrust at a time. Head to BlueChew.com for important safety information and details. And we thank Blue Chew with a big thank you for sponsoring Kliq This, being a part of the team here. Feedback from last week. CK28, 2008, Abel says it's a testament to Kev that we're only hearing about his Christianity now. There's nothing worse than a religious person forcing their beliefs on others and trying to dictate lives through it. Religious beliefs or non-belief is a personal thing. It shouldn't be central to law or making political policy. Separate from law, political policy, separation of church and state. I get that. But, Kev, I understand what they're saying, that it's kind of nobody's business unless someone chooses to share it. And I don't know that we've ever went down that road before last week. I did know the story about after your father's death and your mother.
Yeah.
But it's something you don't share often? Your personal life?
No, I barely talk to human beings on a daily basis. Jeez. Who am I going to share it with?
Oh, no.
I walked into the gym the other day, trained for an hour and 30 minutes, and I didn't say a word to a human being in there.
Well, do you talk when you work out?
No.
Isn't that annoying? Like if people...
I don't do that. I just go work out. I don't have headphones. I remember one time one guy says, "Man, how can you fucking work out to this music?" I said, I'm not listening to it.
Right.
Like, I'm focused on what I'm doing.
Right. That's interesting. I wonder if somebody's workout is hampered by the distraction. Like maybe they don't, because you know how they have TVs on at some of the gyms and stuff, and you see people
There's no sound.
looking. No, but still, I mean, if your attention is focused there, and maybe your pump, you're talking to somebody who doesn't work it, your pump isn't complete, or your form isn't right because you are fragmented. You're paying attention to something else. They should turn the fucking TVs off. Everyone would be huge.
It's not.
But I think that maybe that's why you have success in the gym, because you don't put headphones on and you focus on your arms or your back.
No, it's trainings. People that are watching the TVs are doing cardio. They're doing something monotonous. So they need something to break the monotony. Fucking do an hour on the treadmill.
No.
I mean, fuck. I mean, I want music. I want something to watch. You know.
Yeah. All right. Chris Norton. Sean, get this through your head. We would not be here without God and Jesus. Well, that's fine. I was sharing an honest moment with Kevin that I wish, and I wasn't working. Someone was like, "Oh, I don't know if that was a bit." No, I do wish I had a steadfast belief, but I'm not one of these cats that's going to sit in the front row of church.
I don't know if you. Yeah, I don't know if you want to. I think at some point in your life, like what brought me back to my faith was losing my son.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't want that for you.
No, not at that price, but there's a comfort in people who truly believe. My impression, and what I've heard, and people I've talked to, there is a comfort in that. There's a purpose.
I think if you look at it from a standpoint of because the Jewish faith doesn't believe that Jesus Christ is a savior.
Right.
Yet yet Jesus was a Jew. And like Scott Hall would always say, he says, so let me get this right. To you, Jesus was just a nice guy,
The guy walking around.
you know.
Guy can't happen to
But-
come back from the dead.
But at the same time, if you, there was I think the first Stigmata movie was that a guy found the book of Christ. So like, there's the book of John and so on. It was the book of Christ. It was hidden in some abbey down in Mexico. And, Christ basically says that he needs, like, he needs not walls or, like the church can be anywhere, it could be a brook, it can be, and it goes on to, and it just, do unto others as you would like to be done yourself. And if you live that way, like I've tried this whole week, like I've had so many people ride up my ass, and so I just put my turn signal on and I just get over and I let them go by. I don't like, just like, I'm 66. Like life's too short to let like negativity. I'm out of that negative shit.
But and that's your lifestyle as a Christian, and I understand that. And you don't have to be a Christian or a Jew or a Muslim or anything to live a proper life.
No.
But the belief that there is a logic to all of this, that this is a symphony being conducted by somebody with a plan, and that there's a plan for me, and I may not know it, and that the plan may continue after I shuffle off this mortal coil. That is the comfort that I'm talking about, that I think you guys have.
Yeah,
Because it's chaos.
I mean, to me, there's so many different ways that people, like my wife just went a couple weeks ago and went and saw John Edward.
Oh, I saw she posted that. Yeah.
Yeah, she went down and saw him in Melbourne. And she was stating how John Edward, because she's spiritual, she believes that in Christ, she doesn't believe in the gray-haired guy that was his dad, that whole thing.
No,
Does she
that's me. That's me in Wesley's opening.
That was, so she...
What was her family, though, up in
her family was kind of
Carolinas?
culty. They were Seventh-day Adventists.
Oh, right.
So that was kind of cult. That was the Seventh-day Adventists was a break off of them was the Branch Davidians. That was the group that David Koresh was in Waco.
Now, Seventh-day Adventists, not Jehovah's Witnesses?
No.
Okay.
And their belief is that 144,000 people go to heaven.
That's it. They closed the door.
That's it. 144.
But they might have hit that in 1812.
That's just... That's
so
what
once
they
they're
believe.
full, there's no shot.
I don't know. Maybe there's a guy out front that says I have two.
One who wants to ride along.
Box seat. I don't know, but she was turned off, by her upbringing.
Both her mother and father?
Mostly as she refers to him, the sperm donor.
Oh, okay.
We have no contact with him.
Gotcha. But mom, you do have contact with.
Yeah, mom's sitting down right now eating chicken with my wife.
Right.
Down at the house.
Does religion come up in the home with mom?
My mother-in-law goes to church every Sunday.
With Tam?
No.
Okay.
With her Red Hatter friends.
Brian Ingram, as a born-again Christian, it's my job to identify for the Lord, to testify for the Lord Jesus Christ and tell others what he's done for my life. However, all my human reasoning will never convince you. That's why I pray for the Lord God to reveal himself to you and give you a life-changing encounter with him. You'll never be the same again. God is real, heaven is real, and so is hell. I guess that's to me. All right, I'd much rather be spoken to that way than the prior who tells me I got to get it through my goddamn head.
Well, you wouldn't say goddamn because that's
You
using the
wouldn't
Lord's
say
name.
goddamn. Well, listen to me. See, I'm a godless fuck. I can't even talk about this without sounding like a douchebag. That was very Joe Pesci of me.
No,
Let me drink my weed.
I just know that, like, I went in and out of my alignment with my beliefs, and anytime I'm at the wheel, my life's rough. Anytime I hand the wheel over, my life seems to be very perfect. So,
Before I get off this, I have one question for you, if it's not too personal. And if it is, that's great, because there'll be conflict on the show. In regards to Tristan's passing and your religion, why didn't you throw it all in the fucking garbage when that happened? Because I guarantee you that's what I would have done.
because of what Tristan wrote on the back of the door.
Oh, right. And in the absence of that, you don't know if you would have embraced your prior Christianity.
I think, yeah, I know that I did when my mom passed. Because I know that when she was like her last couple of months, that there was the minister of the Methodist Church was at the house, and she had a relationship like with Christ again, and like she went full circle. So the whole thing is that my wife is, I'll get signs here and there. My wife gets actual visions, and she can talk to T. She can talk to my mom. Like she's spiritual. She was like that in Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's some people that are just like almost conduits, and there's others that just.
See, that's different. I mean, in the face of that, I would have no choice but to believe.
Yeah.
In something.
Since my mom passed, I think that Tamara has, I know on 3 different occasions, like seen my mom. And then we both saw her when I've told that story before, where I was in New York, my wife's in Arizona, but before I left, she's like bled like really heavy. We were at a Kyoto Bowl in Scottsdale eating lunch, and she came out of the bathroom, and the front of her dress had blood on it, and she so we took her immediately to a gynecologist, and it took forever to find the heartbeat, and we're like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, and then finally it was, that incredibly fast heartbeat you hear on an infant that's in the womb. And then a couple of nights later, I was in the Marriott across from LaGuardia, and if anybody knows the setup, like you walk in and the window's in front of you and the bed's against the bathroom wall. It's a small, tight room. And I woke up and it looked like smoke was bellowing. It looked like there was a fire in the room, but it was just on the top of the roof of the room, the ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
And I just looked over, and all of a sudden I just saw this. It just looked like metallic, but like almost a metallic, but like fire. But it was like an image, and it was just stood there, and it just kind of hovered, kind of towards the end of my bed. And I just looked at it. I wasn't scared. I didn't panic. I just watched it, and it dissipated. And I sat up and I turned the light on. I looked at the clock. I think it was 4:20, 4:15, 4:19, some crazy time. It probably was 4:20 at that point in my life. And so I got up, and I went back to sleep. And we had an early morning flight. So, this is back still, pagers and AT&T calling cards. So I get to LaGuardia, get through at that point, the minimal bullshit you had to go through to fly. And I call my wife, and before I can tell her what happened to me, she's telling me that my mother had came and saw her that night.
The night when you were asleep and you had
that. So she had basically at the exact same time I had my incident, she had hers in Arizona, 3 hours difference.
Yeah.
So if you're blessed to have things like that in your life that push you to believe that there's something more, then you're blessed. If not, then you just have to go on. But I wouldn't tell you that, and she wouldn't tell you that to make up a story.
No.
So if you're around enough people, and they tell you about, different things in their lives, like they were going down this path, and like Shawn Michaels. Like Shawn Michaels would probably would have OD'd, and he found Christ, and I mean that was just, it was like almost overnight how quickly he just changed, and it saved his life and saved his marriage, and so.
I know the earnestness of a lot of people that do get saved, and he's a good example. I know Vince Russo, another one who
Sting
later in life,
Lex,
and it changes them and maybe saves them from an untimely end or whatever's going on in their life. So anyway, it was a nice thing last week. I got a lot of responses. I don't know how much of it you caught.
I think there's a lot of people out there that that do believe, and it's just, and if they care about you, if they're somebody that has watched you for 30 years, and they're like, wow, that's great, like he'll be all right, like he'll be okay, and that's how you kind of look at it. You're just like, yeah, because we're all we're all going to go, we're all going to pass. But back to what my wife was saying about John Edward.
Yeah.
He said that when you pass over, it's like there's like such a degree of harmony. Like there's no, like, if you had beef with somebody, it's like there's no beef anymore. Like, it's just.
We had some people post after this about their experiences, I don't want to say near death, but I guess it's a death, right? When you flatline and come back.
I mean, it's near death because, you died, but you didn't, because there's not. You only die if you have a death certificate.
Correct. All right. So near death.
Near death. But close enough to where, like, the actress that I met and spent the day with. And when we flew, I think we flew to Dallas together. We follow I follow her, and she follows me on Instagram, and it's just like, and this is probably 6 years now that we've been there, 6 or 8 years, but I've watched her son grow up that she wouldn't have been there for.
Oh,
And
yeah, I
I've
remember the
watched
story,
I've watched her relationship with her son. Her son's he's you can tell he's gifted musically and
And she
just
lost her leg in an accident,
yeah,
right?
she
Wasn't
lost her
that-
leg.
Yeah.
So,
Well, you mentioned 420 before, Kevin. Back then,
yeah,
you didn't have
that's what it was. Yeah,
you didn't have an opportunity to do any Kliq this lit aid back then. But man, oh man, if you did, you probably would have stayed asleep, whether the smoke was on the ceiling or not.
I would have used that can as a pipe.
Would you have gimmicked it before you hit the vision in the back of the head? What am I talking about? I'm talking about the high spot of the show. Our friends Mickey, Ray Sinatra, and Courtney. Get Blitzed Lit Aid. That's right. This is nano-infused Delta 9 THC sipping syrup. That is Delta 9 THC sipping syrup. What I'm holding here is the pre-mixed. The Get Blitzed Lit Aid mixers. Kliq this editions. I'm holding Sean's Blue Raz. I had a Kev's Key Lime last night to unwind, and it was rather lovely. We've all tried the Delta 9 sipping syrup. Which is a kind of mix yourself. You got to be the mixologist there. You take a little bit of the syrup, no more than a teaspoon. That's all you need, and put it in a drink. Put it in a tea, a soda. Kevin actually used to do make his own key lime concoction. That's how we got the flavor, because he used to mix it with the Sprites. Nano infused means it goes right to your bloodstream, bypassing the breakdown in the liver. Fast onset, 5 to 15 minutes. And if you're in Maryland, you can experience this all at a Stay Lit smoke shop. But for the rest of us, it's legal to ship right from the Get Blitzed website to all 50 states without a med card, as long as you're over 21. And right now, you can save 15% by entering the code KLIQ, K-L-I-Q, at checkout. Go to get-blitzed.com. That's get-blitzed.com. Try the Delta 9 THC Sip and Syrup. Try the Get Blitzed Lit Aid mixers. Kliq this edition in the cans. And don't forget to go to get-blitzed.com and use the code KLIQ, K-L-I-Q, where you save 15%. And I was talking to Mickey a lot this week, actually, working on getting him in with some prominent independent wrestling organization shows where you can get this, and he does a slushy.
I'm curious why you can't get that in Maryland, yet they filmed it. They filmed the show Wired.
Oh no, you can. If you're in Maryland, you can visit.
Oh, you can. Okay.
You can visit the smoke shop, so you're
Okay.
good. Yeah, you know the Wire.
Yeah, I was gonna say yeah, but yeah. We'll let you have Delta 9, but
Basically everything that David Simon made, right? It was what else was his? Homicide, I think, was his show.
Yeah.
I know it was his as well. Kenneth J73 was watching us last week. Kev, he clarified some stuff. Tony Mandarich was an OT, offensive tackle at Michigan State.
we were talking about Ed Marinero, the running.
But I
the
mentioned,
running back.
I think I brought up either Mandarich or Marinovich, and then he clarified Todd Marinovich is a quarterback at USC who played for the Raiders.
I know who, man. Yeah, I know.
And he'd never heard of Ed Marinero. So he said, good call out. Off the couch.
I just saw a thing on Mandarich on Instagram. It popped up, or maybe it was YouTube. It was just he was talking about the he like psychologically he couldn't bench 315 when he was a senior, and he was like he could do like 295 5 times, but he couldn't do 315, and his brothers gave him. He never said what it was, but I'm sure it was probably like D-ball or something like that. It started off, and then next thing you know, he was doing that. Then he just in the summertime he'd run into the guys from Ann Arbor, from the University of Michigan. The guys would talk about what gear they were running, and then he thought, that's, especially because he was an offensive lineman, and at that time the Steelers had that a gigantic offensive line. And he thought that, there's no way that those guys are not on the shit.
Mandarich was he looked like a fucking rectangle. He was just the width.
He was huge
Of him. Now,
I remember his
him?
Sports Illustrated article. Like he was on the cover of it.
When he was drafted?
Yeah. No, it was before he was drafted. It was just like kind of like it was just a story on him.
Mm-hmm. What happened with him? Was he embroiled in scandal?
Just didn't pan out.
Okay, just didn't work.
He came back and kind of redeemed himself. I think he got another try with somebody and kind of played a couple of decent seasons.
Off the Couch with Jordan straightens out our Detroit starting lineup and bench discussion. He said we started Isiah, so I guess he's an owner. We started Isiah, Joe, Buddha Edwards, Laimbeer, and Rodman.
Who?
Now, Joe obviously is Joe Dumars.
Buddha Edwards.
He said Buddha Edwards here. And he's talking about Isiah, so it had to be the 80s. Why am I not remembering Buddha Edwards?
Because I don't think anybody named Buddha Edwards ever played.
Is it a typo? Is it an autocorrect error? He said off the bench was Mahorn, Microwave, Sally. Sixth man would have been Vinny, I think. Was Vinny Johnson? Right?
Yeah. Microwave.
Oh, he was a Microwave. Okay. All right. So we're just going to have to research.
What
Buddha.
year is it?
Well, I mean, if it's Laimbeer and Dumars and Rodman and Isiah, I put it at 88? 87?
I got to look this up.
Steve, Buddha Edwards.
No, it's who started with Laimbeer and Isiah Thomas on the Piston championship teams?
We'll straighten this shit out.
Yeah.
While he does that, let me rewind.
James Edwards.
Was his nickname Buddha?
No, he was a big tall fucker. But it was James Edwards or Rick Mahorn started at that time.
Look, his horseshoe mustache and stoic demeanor inspired his nickname Buddha.
Yeah, but his name was James Edwards.
And he also could talk to the dead. That's John Edwards. That's a totally different individual. Let me remind everyone that KliqThisTV.com is where you can go to become part of the 11 Soft Club. What do you get? You get to be part of the show. You get to get as close to the show as possible. You'd be in here right now for this taping like our 11 Soft Club is, watching, commenting, chatting, like Jen
So
Vargo.
I wasn't wrong.
About what?
About the starting five.
No, we were unsure if I was unsure if Sally was on the starting five.
No,
or
I
if
know he
was
wasn't.
off the bench, but I think you told me that he wasn't. So, what was Jen saying? Sean and Venus else. I recently finished 17 months of work-related bullshit, and I'll tell you, besides mental health therapy, if God hadn't carried me, I wouldn't be there. That's great. I begrudge no one their relationship with something greater than the very limited mindset that I have. I'm not.
I think what you should do when you get home is pull the fucking seats out of your car. I'm just throwing it out there.
Well, I mean, maybe if I pray hard enough, the piss smell will just go away. I don't know. Kliq This Shop also is where you go for the merch. Please. Well, what do we have there these days? Dom, our own Dom, hard at work running our store. I get notifications from time to time, so I guess stuff is selling. Show us your wares. Tag us on socials. Show us your Nash and Kliq This stuff. Kev, the story that swallowed the wrestling news for the better part of a week was Roger Jackson and that debacle in the ring that we both saw and talked about a little bit too, and the entire wrestling community is talking about it, with opinions ranging from the call for criminal charges to why the hell is someone hitting someone who's not a wrestler with a can in the head because they're at a wrestling show. And it begged so many questions in my mind, none that I have answers for currently. So I thought I'd ask the professional wrestler that I'm closest to if they had any
Well,
answers.
see, I guess I grew up in a different era because I was one of the last ones that was lucky enough that the marks were in the crowd and they weren't in the locker room. Like you couldn't buy yourself a spot.
But if you brought, I mean, he was brought, I believe, he was brought there by
A mark.
a worker.
A mark.
An
He had to
indie
be
worker.
no, he was a mark because he was a mark for the guy's dad.
Rampage Jackson. Yes.
Right.
Okay.
There was no
all right.
reason to be a mark for this guy. He's 0-1.
Right.
So he's a mark for Rampage. He's a mark. He's working an indie thing. These guys have been working for indies for 20 years. They haven't broke in yet. If you don't make it in 3 to 5, you're never going to. So it's like,
All right. So here's the first thing. So let's take it one by one. Why was anyone backstage? Why was anyone in the locker room? Right.
why somebody had to have given the okay to bring a mark to the fucking
who was running his live
Right.
stream the entire time. So they thought maybe, the desperation of a lot of these indies, maybe something will happen. Maybe,
something did happen.
Yeah,
They-
not
they
what
were
they
absolutely they got exactly what they wanted. They got exactly what they wanted. Something did happen.
Now, this was a WWE ID affiliated Knox X Pro Wrestling Academy in Los Angeles. They're no longer WWE ID affiliated, let me say. And as best I can understand, I spent the time today trying to figure out what this is. And as best I can understand, WWE ID highlights, spotlights on a website, some schools. I think they're down to 4 now with the loss of this one. Sponsored by existing talent, and then it's an indie federation. It's not like a developmental, or they're not running it or in any way really affiliated. So the worker, Psycho Stu, hits Roger Jackson with the can. Everyone knows the story, right? It's a week old. So, but I'm just trying to find out how much, it obviously went too far. How much of this was, it's good, that's good, yeah. Because you do see at one point
None of it's good.
a worker, well, no, okay, right.
When
But
you can't,
in the minds of an
can't-
indie federation, that's maybe going to...
when you, if you can't get two guys in the back to no.
Roger's told...
If you walk into a bathroom and you have to use it, and there's a big fucking turd in the toilet, there's never a fucking time you decide you're just going to sit down and add to it. As soon as that fucking first incident happened, it's a turd. Flush it, be gone, be done.
Right, and so you in the locker room would have said that, would have realized that this is bullshit.
I would have fucking, instead of saying you'll get your receipt, I would fucking have went up to the guy who was going to do the fucking spot and say, you're not getting in the ring with that motherfucker, are you?
Meaning you would have told Roger that.
No.
Oh, you would have told
the dude that got
Psycho,
fucking pummeled.
Right.
The guy laying in a hospital bed.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to, I mean, when you fucking go in the ring and you give somebody your body, you're giving them your body.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
I mean,
the level of trust is...
Yeah. And I mean, the best guys in the world bust each other open, let alone a couple guys that work fucking once every 6 months. Like, fuck that, man.
The worker, Andre Joel Hudson, said to give him the receipt. Told Roger that before he went out. Do you think there was any part of this that was
is newsworthy today? No.
well, people wait to hear your opinion. Everyone's given theirs, and those are the opening acts, and here's the main fucking event every week, every Monday morning. Who's at fault?
Whoever
Is it shared
whoever
blame?
brought the mark.
Or allowed the mark to be brought, right?
Yeah.
Reno Anoi, I always have a hard time with that, let's say. Is heard saying, he's a trainer was a trainer for KnockX, who said, we'll make something out of it after the initial incident in the locker room. And apparently they're saying the reports are that Psycho, after the can, went up and said, I didn't realize you weren't a worker. I'm sorry.
How do you not? Who goes up to anybody?
I don't know, and just hits him. I know
with a can.
I don't know. That's where the stupidity.
Oh,
starts
I'm
to
sorry. I
come
didn't realize you weren't a worker.
Or else I would have just hit you with a can if I knew you were a worker.
Like, what the fuck? Like, what a bunch of it's number one. It's the camera. The camera is the culprit. If they're not
because it was being recorded,
because it's being recorded,
we
this
acted
guy
like
is
assholes
going
for a little while.
This guy is going to fucking hit him with a can because he wants. He figures the guy probably had a decent setup. It wasn't probably just handheld. Probably had maybe the fucking gimmick like this, you know.
Put your phone in the little holder and walk around with your phone.
Float like, oh my God, this guy, and Jackson doesn't look like he's in shape, so he doesn't look like the rest of these fat fucks.
Right.
And he's of color, which I didn't see anybody else that was black in the locker room. So obviously it's like, okay, this must be somebody. He looks like he's somebody. And I'm sure that he's saying that he's Rampage's kid, which, you know, he's trying to get on the camera. He's a worker.
Yeah.
That's what workers do.
And are there criminal charges that are warranted here for the excessive beating? However we got there is how we got there. It's a bunch of this indie shit that we're talking about. But he's in the ring. There's someone who's unconscious, and you saw what happened. Is that a crime? We've seen in the NHL, they've talked about, like, when there's too much in a fight, if there's stick work, they talk about filing charges in the city if somebody uses the stick.
There was definitely intent to fucking to do bodily harm.
You cross the line, yeah. Wrestling or not.
Absolutely.
All right. Speaking of,
you can't use a wrestling venue as
a justification to maul somebody. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know the gun was loaded. I'm on a movie set. Doesn't change things. Somebody still loses their life.
All right. Well, Over the Line would also prompted something else from this week that I wanted to ask you about. The Becky Lynch promo in Birmingham. She referenced, it was a heel promo, and the city, the heel, the cheap heat in the city in Birmingham. But what she said, Ozzy Osbourne had just died, and a beloved figure from Birmingham. She said, quote, I'm not wrestling in Birmingham. The only good thing that came out of here died a month ago. But in fairness to Ozzy Osbourne, he had the good sense to move to L.A., a proper city, because if I lived in Birmingham, I'd die too. Do we cross a line there to get the heat?
I think her run's over. I think she's grasping.
You think it was a desperation?
I think the business has passed her by.
Kelly Osbourne was upset, justifiably so. It's her dad. So whether we think this is,
I don't think that she said anything that was derogatory to Ozzy.
Well, invoking, I mean, this is a recent thing, too, and then invoking the I'd want to die like Ozzy died. She said, quote, Kelly said, you're a disrespectful dirtbag. Birmingham would not piss on you if you were on fire. Birmingham forever. Shame on WWE for allowing such things to be said about my father and his home. Can you go over the line with heat like that? Is that, I mean, when you attack the city, right? Cheap heat, I think is what we call it, right?
I think I don't see how they always say, oh, any kind of publicity is good publicity. I don't know, man. I mean, when somebody passes and you fuck with the family, and the daughter is the one that makes the comment. I don't think that's exactly I don't think that's exactly the look that the WWE or its shareholders, which I'm one of. I'm a TKO shareholder. I don't particularly want that coming out of somebody's mouth as a shareholder.
Understood. But in a company with that much control over the product, that had to have been written and approved, no?
No.
Becky can go into business with it for herself like
Anybody
that in a
can.
promo?
Anybody can.
Well, can, of course. She's got a mouth and was holding a mic, but
Whether or not she was fine for it, or that's where the difference is.
Was giving Vince the finger during the promo from the stage, was that over the line?
I was just fixing my...
Fuck you. You were
eyebrow.
fixing your glasses. You're scratching your eye. But because Vince was part of, I mean, he's your boss, but he was also part of the angle. Is that excusable? Whereas taking somebody from the outside, Ozzy had nothing to do with this. And
Mine
dead.
was in the jest of work.
Right.
We got somebody telling me, Nash, you can join your buddy Hall on an employment line.
Well, I was going to say, he was hot about it.
He was... What, he was hot after I flipped him off?
Off stage. Didn't he have an issue with it?
No, he didn't say a fucking word to me.
Oh, for some reason I thought that was an issue.
No.
Was it because the middle finger was on TV? No, Steve's middle finger was on TV all the time.
Yeah.
And here's the cynic. I have to ask you this. I'm not going to say any publicity is good publicity because it's not always true. But I just want to limit it to one thing. Crossover heat. Kelly has responded. It's in the news in places that wrestling mightn't be in the news because Kelly's in it. The Arquette thing with Russo and the front page of USA Today. Is that valuable at least? Maybe not at this price, but because there's crossover.
I don't know. I mean, I watched the news today, and everybody's talking about the kid that killed the shooter in Minneapolis.
Oh, yeah.
So that guy was one of the boys. Would that be good crossover? Was Benoit good crossover?
No. No. Crossover where a celebrity maybe is involved, another celebrity, and you get coverage in mainstream media.
Well, I don't think you get much crossover, more crossover than Benoit got.
Too big a price. Right.
I just think it's stupid.
Okay.
It's like you're fucking 245 laps ahead in a race, and you're taking a shortcut.
Oh, because of the position they're in. Why do you fucking need to even go there? Yeah. Yeah. No, that's... I couldn't run 245 laps anywhere, but...
I was thinking more of F1.
Yeah, no, I know you were.
I watched it the other night.
Oh, the movie?
Yeah, me and my wife watched it.
Something about AEW. We've had a lot of fun with AEW on this show, Kevin, and I want to talk about their tuition reimbursement program that I read about, which I was very happy to see, covering costs for talent to further their college education. It's excellent. It mirrors what most socially responsible corporations do for workers who want to further their education. We've seen some magnanimous offerings from wrestling companies. You could maybe argue that I know WWE started covering rehab for anyone that wanted it in wrestling. I think whether you work there or not. How much of that was a way to try to stem lawsuits that might be coming out of addiction? Who knows? Maybe it was out of the goodness of their heart. I don't want to be a cynic.
I don't see how the fuck anybody could say that they got addicted to drugs because they wrestled.
Oh, the painkillers and the schedule and the being forced to work.
The
I'm not saying you did.
No, I'm just saying I don't see how that. There's too many people that go through it and don't become drug addicts.
Yes, correct, but it doesn't change what someone in that position might say. I've sat across from people who talked about harboring terrible injuries from being in the ring and doing moves, and they lay blame at the feet of the business.
Of course they do, because to look in the mirror and take blame yourself would be that would be the adult and the first step
right.
to actually getting help. And yeah, so why not blame the business?
I'm saying giving the rehabs to anyone who wants it might have been a way to quell that talk and shut it down.
No,
Whereas
I think it was more to try to save lives, because so many guys died during that period.
Mm-hmm. Okay. This, I found this to be wonderful and should be commended and should be mentioned on this.
Yeah, I think so. I think if you're allowed to, while you're in the ring, hit each other in the head with fucking pipes, and then whatever's left of your brain when you get done, go ahead and get an education. I think it's fucking an outstanding program.
Forget about the pipes. You're working in wrestling. There's a finite amount of time you can be a professional athlete. And when that time is up, what's left? And we hear so many stories about nothing being left for people. And here's an opportunity while you're working for a wrestling organization to get a degree and maybe line something up for after that. I think it's great.
Yeah.
But my question for you, Kevin Nash, by doing this, do you further open the door to conversation about what's a contractor and what's an employee? Because I know companies do this for their employees, their W-2'd employees. I don't know any contractor. When's the last contractor that visited your house to work on the plumbing or the air conditioning that you sponsored a tuition match for their college?
I think I did pick up a course on heating and air for a guy. No, it's.
This is an employee now, isn't it?
If you have to be at television at a certain time, if you have to be at a location at a specific time, you are an employee, period. You don't need anything else besides that.
The IRS has very clear guidelines for what
the
treatment of a contractor and an employee
Independent contractor isn't told you need to come paint my house and you need to be here by 6 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Also can't tell them you cannot work on the house across the street for money.
Right.
Yeah.
For 90 days.
I don't know how wrestling has evaded this for so long.
Because nobody's the person that, number one, you'll never outmoney them. So what are you're gonna get?
But forget about a wrestler.
ACLU?
No, I mean they've tried. Raven was part of a
that was successful.
No, it wasn't. Statute of limitations, according to Connecticut, had expired on the last time someone wrestled for WWE. Whatever. But why has an independent body, who are ostensibly here to protect workers, never gone in and said, Don't spend your lawsuit money. We're going to do an investigation. You were told what? You were precluded from taking a job elsewhere? You were fined because you didn't get somewhere on time? And why has an independent body never done this?
What independent body?
Any organization that oversees workforce, the enforcement of workforce rules, or since it's on the IRS's books, the IRS themselves. They're the ones who have the mandate on what's a contractor and what, because there's tax implications. Of course, the reason you make someone an independent contractor and not an employee is you don't have to pay payroll tax.
Right.
Right.
And
So why doesn't the IRS go in and straighten it out?
Well, as long as that 1099 is making himself and he's paying his taxes, I don't think they give two fucks.
Well, they give two fucks because they're putting restrictions on a
let me ask you a question
and not giving them the benefits.
Then why when somebody moves a plant, a BMW plant down to Greenville, Tennessee, and it's a non-union plant, how is that allowed? Why is it forced to become a United Auto Workers?
Okay, that's a union, and that's a collective bargaining agreement. And companies,
and what's the difference between?
Forget unionization. It's the classification and the guidelines a company has to abide by to treat an employee, offer them benefits, versus say you're on your own. That's the difference.
You can't. The VA just stopped basically OBGYN across the country for the women veterans.
Oh, for women that are in danger of childbirth. Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, so you're thinking, but somebody just, one of the government fucking, it just has nothing to do, is going to jump in and fucking help a bunch of fucking, you know what? I just watched this guy smash Rampage's kid with a can, and he punched the guy 21 times in the head. We need to fucking really take care of these. Jesus, are you fucking kidding me?
One problem does not preclude the solving of another.
You need to move to Birmingham.
Will allow me and anyone else to run more laps than I would have before I discovered it, because of the high protein, zero sugar promise of their cereal. What I'm holding here is the Frosted brand. Brings me back to some flaky cereals from my childhood. But it's not just cereal. Oh, no. It's so much more nowadays, guys. The granola has arrived. The high protein granola, brand new. And true to the Magic Spoon promise, packed with protein. It's crunchy. It's crunchy, daddy. And, they have those treats, too, those airy, crispy treats as well. They're also high protein and an easy way to get 12 grams of that protein on the go. The treats, knock out one of those chocolate peanut butters. You will not regret doing so. You will thank me. The granola, I'm privy to the honey almond myself, but you can get dark chocolate almond, peanut butter, great flavors in that one too. What are we talking about? We're talking about high protein, low sugar, zero sugar in the case of the granola and the cereal. And we're going to give you $5 off to try it and confirm it and let us know how much you love it. If you go to magicspoon.com/Kliq, Kliq, you'll get that $5 off your order. You can grab them on Amazon at your nearest grocery store. But if you want the discount, go to magicspoon.com/Kliq, Kliq, get the $5 off. And you know what? The marshmallow flavor of the treats, I think, are actually my favorite. The chocolate peanut butter is quite good, but try the marshmallow too. It's amazing. Thank you, Magic Spoon, for taking care of us as you do. Something about AEW. We've had a lot of fun with AEW on this show, Kevin, and I want to talk about their tuition reimbursement program that I read about, which I was very happy to see, covering costs for talent to further their college education. It's excellent. It mirrors what most socially responsible corporations do for workers who want to further their education. we've seen some magnanimous offerings from wrestling companies. You could maybe argue that I know WWE started covering rehab for anyone that wanted it in wrestling. I think whether you work there or not. How much of that was a way to try to stem lawsuits that might be coming out of addiction? Who knows? Maybe it was out of the goodness of their heart. I don't want to be a
I
cynic.
don't see how the fuck anybody could say that they got addicted to drugs because they wrestled.
Oh, the painkillers and the schedule and the being forced to work.
Just the
I'm not saying you did.
No, I'm just saying. I don't see how that. There's too many people that go through it and don't become drug addicts.
Yes, correct. But it doesn't change what someone in that position might say. I've sat across from people who talked about harboring terrible injuries from being in the ring and doing moves, and they lay blame at the feet of the business.
Of course they do, because to look in the mirror and take blame yourself would be fucking. That would be the adult and the first step
Right.
to actually getting help. And yeah, so why not blame the business?
I'm saying giving the rehabs to anyone who wants it might have been a way to quell that talk and shut it down.
No,
Whereas
it was,
this,
I think it was more to try to save lives, because so many guys died during that period.
okay. This, I found this to be wonderful and should be commended and should be mentioned on this.
Yeah, I think so. I think if you're allowed to, while you're in the ring, hit each other in the head with fucking pipes, and then whatever's left of your brain when you get done, go ahead and get an education. I think it's fucking an outstanding program.
Forget about the pipes. You're working in wrestling. There's a finite amount of time you can be a professional athlete. And when that time is up, what's left? And we hear so many stories about nothing being left for people. And here's an opportunity while you're working for a wrestling organization to get a degree and maybe line something up for after that. I think it's great.
Yeah.
But my question for you, Kevin Nash, by doing this, do you further open the door to conversation about what's a contractor and what's an employee? Because I know companies do this for their employees, their W-2'd employees. I don't know any contractor. When's the last contractor that visited your house to work on the plumbing or the air conditioning that you sponsored a tuition match for their college?
I think I did pick up a course on heating and air for a guy. No, it's.
This is an employee now, isn't it?
If you have to be at television at a certain time, if you have to be at a location at a specific time, you are an employee, period. You don't need anything else besides that.
The IRS has very clear guidelines for what the
Yes.
treatment of a contractor and an employee
Independent
is.
contractor isn't told you need to come paint my house and you need to be here by 6 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Also can't tell them you cannot work on the house across the street for money.
Right.
Yeah.
For 90 days.
I don't know how wrestling has evaded this for so long.
Because nobody's the person that, number one, you'll never outmoney them. So what are you're gonna get?
But forget about a wrestler.
ACLU?
No, I mean they've tried. Raven was part of a
Oh, that was
class action
successful.
suit. No, it wasn't. Statute of limitations, according to Connecticut, had expired on the last time someone wrestled for WWE. Whatever. But why has an independent body, who ostensibly here to protect workers, never gone in and said, "Don't spend your lawsuit money. We're going to do an investigation"? You were told what? You were precluded from taking a job elsewhere? You were fined because you didn't get somewhere on time? And why has an independent body never done this?
What independent body?
Any organization that oversees workforce, the enforcement of workforce rules, or since it's on the IRS's books, the IRS themselves. They're the ones who have the mandate on what's a contractor and what, because there's tax implications. Of course, the reason you make someone an independent contractor and not an employee is you don't have to pay payroll tax.
Right.
Right.
And you
So
have to
why doesn't
pay-
the IRS go in and straighten it out?
Well, as long as that 1099 is making himself, and he's paying his taxes, I don't think they give two fucks.
Well, they give two fucks because
Why
they're putting restrictions on a
Let me ask you a
worker
question
and not
then.
giving them the
Then
benefits.
why when somebody moves a plant, a BMW plant down to Greenville, Tennessee, and it's a non-union plant, how is that allowed? Why is it forced to become a United Auto Workers?
Okay, that's a union and that's a collective bargaining agreement. And companies
And what's the difference between?
forget unionization. It's the classification and the guidelines a company has to abide by to treat an employee, offer them benefits, versus say you're on your own. That's the difference.
You can't. The VA just stopped basically OBGYN across the country for the women veterans.
Oh, for women that are in danger of childbirth. Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, so you're thinking, but somebody just one of the government fucking just has nothing to do is going to jump in and fucking help a bunch of fucking. You know what? I just watched this guy smash Rampage's kid with a can, and he punched the guy 21 times in the head. We need to fucking really take care of these. Jesus, are you fucking kidding me?
One problem does not preclude the solving of another.
You need to move to Birmingham.
Florida man or Jersey guy, speaking of Birmingham. If you're in the panhandle, you're close. That's Alabama South. All right, two actual headlines. One, I'm talking about a Jersey guy. One, I'm talking about a Florida man. And Kevin, with his remarkable deductive powers, is going to be able to tell which is which. First one, man in Batman pajamas stops burglary suspect. Second, TikToker tore down Greek flags thinking they were Israeli.
I gotta go with Gotham City, Batman, Jersey, TikToker. I'm gonna go with the anti-Semite, one of the good old boys down here in Florida.
You got it backwards. I just didn't think I don't think enough people in Florida even cared about that to go out and do that. But no, Batman was from Cape Coral, Florida. Where the hell that is. Not all heroes wear capes, they say here, according to the Cape Coral Police Department. The suspect was Justin Shimple, who was detained by his neighbor who was wearing Batman pajamas. And there's a photo of our heroic Kyle Mivett standing with police.
Looks like those fucking pajamas kids used to wear.
The underoos, weren't
Yeah.
they called that? Yeah, the Spider-Man and shit, yeah. And then in Jersey, this charming young lady, Amber Matthews, filmed herself ripping down a decorative string of Greek flags she thought were Israeli. Now, here's the thing, Kev. I guess blue and white, right? They were hanging in front of Effie's Gyro restaurant. Might have been a tip-off.
Number one, she's got some fucking hops if she got those fucking flags.
Maybe she used a device of some kind to knock them. Oh, here she is. Here's footage of it. Looks like I guess she got one, and then just they all kind of. If one of them was accessible because it was a string, I guess she pulled them all down. Yeah, that was.
You would
Jersey.
think that somebody from one of the departments in the government would offer her some legal help.
Why is that? Because she was being taken advantage of.
Absolutely,
Clearly being treated like a worker when
being treated like
misclassified.
being treated like she was pro Hamas on the campus of Harvard.
Or UCLA, who's about to lose what
$1
funding
billion
for research to prevent cancer.
Let's
take their money away.
Yeah, because Dr. Evil says it's $1 billion.
Kev, when we talk about sending money to a friend or doing anything online, I know you were always very resistant to do any online banking. I've asked you many times, can I electronically? Can Butch and Sundance electronically pay? You're like, fuck no, don't put my information anywhere in the webosphere. So these are concerns. These are real concerns. So if I was to tell you that through our friends' Cash App, their built-in card security for their Cash App card has protections that you may not even be aware exist, and that they have your back. Okay, you deserve to feel safe, obviously, from fraud and in control. This is exactly what they do. Okay, when you get the Cash App card, not only do you access a ton of perks and benefits like early access to concert pre-sales, discounts on brands, very popular brands. You have extra security with the power to instantly lock or unlock your card right from your phone with one tap. If a suspicious transaction pops up on the card, Cash App has your back by automatically declining the purchase and sending you a heads up to confirm whether it's you or not. You confirm it's you, then you're rolling again and you make your purchase. Behind the scenes, you can rest assured knowing your account balance is protected 24/7. Okay, and it's right in your hands. With Cash App, you can spend, save, and live your life knowing your money is right where you left it. Advanced built-in security, precautions you can count on, and help when you need it. Okay, you can go check out more about the Cash App card in the app, or just go to cash.app/card. And for a limited time only, new Cash App customers can use our exclusive code and earn some additional cash. For real. Download the Cash App. Use our exclusive referral code SECURE10 in your profile. Okay? Send $5 to a friend within 14 days of that. You're going to get $10 dropped right into your account. It's ridiculous. They're giving goddamn money away. Set up the account, download Cash App, use the referral code SECURE10 in your profile. Cash App is a financial services platform, not a bank. Banking services provided by Cash App's bank partner. Prepaid debit cards issued by Sutton Bank, member FDIC. Instant discounts provided by Cash App, a Block Inc. brand. Visit cashapp.com/legal/podcast for full disclosures. Thank you, Cash App. All right, back with Kliq This, the Kevin Nash podcast. He's Kevin, I'm Sean. And though we're different in many ways, we both smell banging today, and that's because of our friends at Mando. Fall is here, Kevin. What does it mean? Crisp air, football, maybe a bonfire. You sit in a bonfire down there in Florida.
It means layers. Layers mean you're gonna sweat.
That's it. Exactly. Guys, in this wonderful season of football and fall and sweaters and sweat, don't let body odor put you on the sidelines, okay? How about that? Mando deodorant plus sweat control. That's what I'm talking about. The deodorant and the sweat control. It's for real working, guys. It's formulated to stop odor before it starts. This doesn't just cover up. It's not like that shit that just mixes with body odor to cover up. No, this is going to go down to the surface, okay? You can tackle anything on the job site, tailgating at the games, and do it with confidence. Don't mask it, Mando it. I am in love with the bourbon leather stick. I'm all about the stick. The whole body. Kevin, what do you keep in the car? Is it the cream or the spray? I know that
the spray.
The spray in the car. Yeah, that's a great idea. It's clinical sweat control, all right? One swipe, literally one swipe with up to 72-hour protection, and you're ready to go. The bar lasts you forever, okay? After 12 hours of one swipe, underarm sweat was reduced 92% in studies, okay? And this deodorant is re-engineered to stop the odor before it starts, okay? And it's double protection, odor, and sweat. That's what you want. Their new Deodorant Plus Sweat Control Solid Stick. Get the bourbon leather. Trust me, it's unbelievable. And we're going to help you get started because of the starter pack. It's perfect for new customers. Okay, it comes with the solid stick deodorant, the cream tube, deodorant, 2 free products of your choice. You can get the wipes Kevin's talked about a lot. They have body wash. You tell them which you want. And you get free shipping with that introductory set. And as a special offer for listeners, new customers who get that are going to get 20% off site-wide with the exclusive code, which happens to be Kliq. Easy to freaking remember. KLIQ. ShopMando.com. ShopMando.com for 20% off site-wide plus free shipping. Please support the show. Tell them we sent you. Mando's got you covered. Deodorant Plus Sweat Control. Say goodbye to sweat stains. Hello to long-lasting freshness while you're out there at the game. This week, next week. This week would be, actually, we're airing Monday, so it is this weekend.
They're actually right now playing. University of Central Florida's playing.
Yes. And then when is the big Miami and Notre Dame? That's Saturday, Sunday?
Texas is playing somebody big.
That's this
Maybe
weekend.
Texas LSU. I don't know.
You laying any cash yet, Kev? You laying
Nope.
any? Nope. Nothing yet.
Not yet. I gotta get a feel.
Yeah, absolutely.
I got buddies that are they're betting. My buddy John was betting the preseason games.
Oh my God! Was he third string?
I mean, just
ridiculous.
He's addicted.
All right, hashtag Ask Nash. That's how you get to Kevin Nash. Not an easy guy to get to, and he'll answer your questions. That's one way to do it. Another great way is to be right here with us in the house, and you'll see everybody's questions from the 11 Soft Club. KliqThisTV.com. Like, who's our first contestant? Ace Ramon. What do you think of Doug Malo, the guy who pulled Raja off Stu? He stepped in when it was needed, and he looks like he's got a good future. I mentioned that in the pre-show that, like, even 15 seconds of that is brutal. I mean, somebody finally got in there and was like, oh, let's go. Get off. So I think big ups to Malo, no?
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad somebody pulled him off him, but if you're in that organization in the first place, I don't think you got a good future.
You use the word organization, which is a compliment.
That's
David Van Boeglen. I need to know what would have happened when you broke in, Kev, if something like this happened. Would Harley and crew kill that kid?
wouldn't happen.
Wouldn't have gone out, right?
No, it wouldn't have. Marks weren't allowed in the ring.
There you go. David again. Kev, a receipt is something that is delivered in the ring for stuff that happens in the ring, right? Backstage stuff gets handled backstage, but not in the ring. Good question. Is that
Yeah,
true?
I mean, if you ever see that, there's a pretty infamous thing on Instagram where it shows Braun Strowman catch Lesnar with a pretty stiff knee, and once Brock sells the knee and gathers himself, he fucking gives him a receipt shot right to the side of his head. That's a receipt.
But like if somebody was fucking with you backstage or something, you wouldn't hurt them in the ring. If you had a problem with them backstage, you'd approach them backstage.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. Well done, David. Correct.
But it's like a receipt on top of that. It's like a receipt to me is only if somebody's is like, people are going to hit you, people are going to stiff you. If it's with malice, that's when you get a receipt in my book.
What about carelessness? Where does that fall in the whole? If you drop someone the wrong way.
See, I'm kind of blessed because I was like 330. I mean, like, I'm not somebody you're gonna snatch and just throw.
Right.
You know, so I was kind of blessed to that. But I've seen a lot of guys that just get stuck with moves and shit, and it's just like I don't know.
Yeah.
And the immortal words of who said it? I think it was
John Candy.
no, it was the not Blackjack, Billy Jack Haynes. It is the fight game.
Did Billy Jack say that?
I think so.
I thought he said, "Get your finger out of my ass, Pat Patterson."
I don't know. Billy Jack's in prison, isn't he?
He sure is. Maybe receiving a finger as we speak. Mark Capps, take us behind the scenes of World War III, 1997. I know you love these, Kev. When a pay-per-view is brought up, and we're going to go back, were you terrified of making the Sting drop?
Yeah. That was the second tallest building that anybody dropped out of.
Whoa.
The first was, I think, Boston. That was I mean, it looked like a postage stamp. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
And I'm sitting up there pissing in a bucket waiting,
I saw a picture this week on Twitter, I think. Oh, no, Instagram, of Vince doing, before the show, the HBK. Remember when he fought Brett and he did that whole Zipline type thing down? There's a shot of Vince with the dress shoes and the pants and the sweater going. So that afternoon, he must have been the one to test it out, or one of the people that did it.
I don't know.
Question that was posted from Pinball Wizard 809. After watching the Netflix series Unreal, I was left wanting more. I would love to see how wrestlers and producers create a match. In your experience, what is the process for setting up a match before a big pay-per-view event? So you're in the pay-per-view main event, title match.
Well, you got to finish. So if it's Vince, if it's Paul, whoever's in charge, in today's days, it would be Paul. Mm-hmm. Paul would give the agent, who is now I think called the producer.
Yes, they do.
We give the producer the finish, and then you work from the finish back.
Right. Is any more care put into that process for a pay-per-view than just a regular TV taping?
No, I wouldn't think so.
No. Okay. Another question from the house, Steve-O.
I mean, when you look at, they're actually, there's really not a pay-per-view anymore.
No, not now, but I meant back in your day.
We were so fucking. I remember doing SummerSlam, and Scott and I opened. We had that with Walter Payton and everything else, and Scott and I they'd ran us so fucking hard going into SummerSlam. We just wanted to get through the match.
It's so funny when I would talk to guys, like when we were doing Timeline for kayfabe commentaries, and I would talk to people like with some gravitas. So WrestleMania, what was that day like? He was like, I had a fucking flight the next morning to Ottawa. It was what that day was like, and I wanted to get the fuck out of there. It doesn't hold the importance that.
No, it was brutal.
We sometimes think it does. Question in the house, Steve. Hi, Britt. Uncle Kev, why is it hard for men, boys, to commit to one woman? Even the married men cheat and lay down with their wife like nothing happened. Not about me. Just peeping a lot of fuckery. I guess she wants you to answer for all men. You're as good a representative as anyone I know.
I just think it's. I watch like you see a pride of lions, and you see the one male lion, and you see all the female lions. I just think that mammals are not. I think the only mammal that's mates for life is a dolphin.
A lobster too, I think.
I don't think they're mammals.
Oh, you said mammal.
Pretty sure that's a crustacean.
It is a crustacean. That's the claw.
But
Were the Von Erichs
but I do
crustaceans?
know two fucking lobsters that are in a fucking rigid 1099 fight right now. So
Underwater, it's a whole different ball game, motherfucker.
damn right.
Give me another question, Steve. Instagram wrestling historian, which outside venue did you prefer wrestling at, Sturgis or Club LaVela? Thanks in advance.
Club LaVela, because at least you had the beach. Sturgis, you're in the middle of fucking Rapid City. You know, you're the Badlands.
A little bit of how those fumes for you, huh? All those guys revving the bikes.
Remember the first year we dressed in fucking containers. Shipping containers was the locker rooms.
Yeah, right. Because oh my god.
That was one of those deals, man. Like Eric was a biker. That was his gig, and I liked Eric, so I was just like, you know, if this made my buddy happy, fucking, I'll go fucking play. Scott and I drove up in a Taurus.
It was a Ford. You're a
Damn
Detroit
right.
guy. Edgar Watson, any thoughts on Bronco Nagurski, NFL Bears, and NWA heavyweight champ in the 30s and 40s?
Couldn't I pick him out in the lineup of two?
Kliq This is a production of Butch and Sundance Media, produced in association with Podcast Heat, created by Tristan Nash, Kevin Nash, and Sean Oliver, producer Steve Kaufman, graphics by Dominic D'Angelo, title sequence and audio edit by Wesley Burleson, theme song by Dale Oliver, technical research by Tristan Nash, copyright 2025, Butch and Sundance Media. Kev, do you have to do another one?
If it's this length, I could do them all. I could do two a night.
See, I fed you a 1099 line, motherfucker.
I know it. I didn't want you to throw up the crustaceans, so.
Let us free to fade away into eternity. Circulate, you've come to love me, but now I'm frozen in dead flesh. Oh, Sophie, knew all along it was a trick, but the customer service never answers the thing. Let us free to breathe in air we're supposed to breathe. Through twists and turns, you've come to love me. Now I'm cold, I'm frozen. Baby, we're broken, and the customer service never